Hello everybody and welcome to part 4 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. Last time we beat the mini-boss, and well, I guess I'd say beforehand, this part's gonna be in post-commentary. So sorry about that. But in this part we collect the heart pieces in the dungeon and we finish up this place. And I show how much I actually fail with the Gust Jar. And I had to redo this part because my emulator crashed when I was recording this part. It's not shown in the video, but I have to redo it and stuff and all that, and yeah. So we press the switch. We opened up the blue portal. We'll show how to get to that really soon, actually, and we get some mysterious shells. I'll show what those are used for later, also. So when we go to the barrel, and we get rid of that spider web that was blocking our path and making everything really complicated, even though it's probably the first time we've seen it. And we show how much, and I hate this part. I really hate doing this, probably because I just really fail at it. And I forgot that you can still do the push thing without having to charge it up all the way. And we go. I really don't like, I always thought maybe, are you supposed to do it when you fully charge it up, or can you just do it like this? I don't really know, and I come up here and I find out that we're not supposed to go up here yet, surprisingly, thanks to that keyhole blocking our way. And so we go down over here. Do we go to the next room, because, well, that's the only thing we can do, and I hate these bugs. Stupid bugs. I don't know, I think I really fail at this thing. I don't know why. And I realized we could have pushed that pot over, but I guess not. And I accidentally moved it out of the way and completely screwed it up. Yay. I still can't believe I did that. That was a slight mistake, but well, we got a ruby out of it, so I guess it's not the biggest mistake in the world, and we can fix that in about 3 seconds. But yeah, I really don't know what to say about this dungeon. It's the first dungeon. There's nothing really to say about it. It's pretty much the tutorial of what you're going to be doing in other dungeons. And the one time the Gust Jar is ever useful is this dungeon. I really never saw one. I don't really think there's much to do with it after this dungeon, except for maybe a few other lily pad parts, and I get the compass, even though I could have got it the first time we came down here. But, yeah, and we never use it anyway, so I don't even think I checked the map. Or, well, I think I did one time, but whatever. So we get over here and we can finally get this dumb little puzzle done over here that we couldn't earlier, because Link can't swim, ever. Except if he gets a couple flippers. And we slowly push our way back to that door that had a giant keyhole that will take a tiny little key. And thank God we don't have to go through the rest of that dungeon. Freaking, if that pot reset. I forgot if it did or not, but whatever. So we go to the door, and I wonder if anyone's ever had those slugs land on the lily pad and just totally screw them up with it. And we come over here and we do one of the few puzzles in this game that require you to use the Gust Jar. And first time I did this, I screwed up and I kept landing in the water and crap like that. So we get over here and we get the really big key, and it's used to open up big doors. Never expected. So there's the blue portal that you saw earlier. It's going to lead to our second piece of heart and the last piece of heart in this dungeon. And we go back and we find out what's to the left, I think. Yep. So we get that out of the ways. We come up here, and we get the most useful of all items in this dungeon, 20 rupees. Or at least it's not 5, at least I can probably get something with 24 rubies. Be like a piece of gum or something. And I realized, oh, there's two treasure chest left in the dungeon that I forgot to get, but I think it's just rubies and more mysterious shells, so we're not really missing anything. Unless, like, it turns out those treasure chests are really important, which I'm pretty sure they're not. We open up and we fight possibly the most intense boss of all time. First, we gotta look at this Chuchu. This giant, not giant, just this normal-sized Chuchu. And what's he doing? And he melted in the dungeon. What that can mean. Here comes our first boss. It's raining Chew Jelly. Oh, well, I guess the Chew is going to be our boss. It's possibly one of the coolest bosses in this game. The giant Chuchu. Always thought this was a cool little boss. I mean, you're pretty much just fighting a normal-sized Chuchu, but you're so tiny, you gotta fight him like this and crap. And I waste whatever items are in the inside the pods because I do that sort of stuff, and this boss is really clumsy, and I think it's awesome because of that. You get to really look how happy these things are, even when they're getting attacked. And yeah, there isn't really much more to say about the boss other than when it's falling like this, whenever it tilts its head for the third time, that's the direction it's gonna fall in. And it's gonna follow you around when it does that, so be careful, I guess. Not like anyone's probably ever gonna die to this boss, unless like you are blind and you're missing your left hand, and if so, why are you playing a Zelda game? And how did you get this far anyway? So I think we finish off the boss here. We throw the pod at it, and we kill it. Yeah, and it explodes for some reason. We see what goes through its face, what happens to its face when it explodes. It freaks out, and I guess that was the big ordeal in this dungeon was a giant Chew Jelly, because we get the what's this thing called again? The Earth Stone? Yeah, I think is what it was. The Earth Element. And it has the power over living things. I guess Chew Jellies just sort of carry that stuff around. And we get our very first heart container. We got 4 hearts. Oh yeah. And we gotta go talk to the elder one more time. But and the heart piece is still taunting me, and I wish you could pick it up. It'd be awesome to pick up a giant heart piece, or normal-sized heart piece, but whatever. And we talk to this guy to see if he has anything interesting to say, and he just says that we're amazing. Because we are. We are quite amazing. So we trudge our way over to the sage to see how astonished he is by us killing a giant Chew Jelly and getting the Earth Element. And I guess I just noticed this because the poster he's standing in front of is the 4 elements. I think they'd be in order, but I guess not. So he opens up the curtain that isn't a window, but it's surprisingly a way out of this place to a really pointless room. And we leave. We go over here and we go talk to the guy inside this little house here, and he actually gives us a pretty useful item. It's not lamp oil. It's not rope. We have enough rubies. It's bombs. They're ours, my friends. We had enough rupees, and we didn't need to be richer, and we didn't have to ask for credit. And we come over here and talk to this stone that explodes just because we sort of looked at it funny. And we come over here, cut some grass, and now we can start actually getting the shells by cutting grass and digging, but we'll find out digging later when we get the shovel. We come over here and we test out the bombs for the very first time. But it's exciting. Look at that. Look at that greatness. Just a bomb. We come over here, cut some grass, and I want to check what's up here, but it's just 3 little holes that we can't get to yet. We'll get to those later. Much, much later. When we have more than just 4 hearts. And we're gonna... This is, I think, the one other time we ever have to use a mushroom to get to something. Which is right over here, and I waste a bomb by doing this, and we can also, I realized we can actually, I forgot that we could actually skip these cutscenes finally, so we don't have to watch Link fall into a giant mushroom that's, I guess, inside of every tiny little broken tree trunk. And this guy says something about keystones. We'll find out about, I think we find out about those in this video also, but, and I think that's coming up really soon too, so, yeah. So I blow up these two rocks that are totally blocking our way. We can't just walk over the fence, but I guess Link's like that. Oh, and we got our first 5 ruby. It's like, and I still probably had to work with my controls because I accidentally waste a couple bombs doing stuff and I get hit by a bat, so I can get 20 more shells. That is fantastic, I guess. I don't know. Come over here, waste more time cutting grass. Don't know why I left some of this stuff in, and come down here so that you can just kind of come up here if you don't feel like talking to that Minish and wasting your time like I did. Yeah. And we trudge our way back to town. We come over here, we get attacked by things. We get rid of these tiny little trees that are just here for some reason, and we run into I guess a pedophile, because he's playing a music box and he has only tiny little children following him around. He wants to show them stuff. And we get our keystone bag. This is nice for a little tiny sub-quest that are alright. You don't have to do, this stuff is totally optional, and you can, pretty much every non-player character has a keystone you can fuse with them. And we're going to fuse with this guy, but since my controls are still screwed up, I accidentally declined doing the keystone trade with him. And we combine and we get our friendship all special and happy, and the coin explodes and turns into I guess, a fairy, and it opens up a tree near, I think, South Hyrule Field? Yep. On the south side of Hyrule Field. And this guy's like, yeah, do this as many times as you want, and I think I do a cut here because I'm gonna show to get 2 extra two heart pieces before we start in the next dungeon. The one right here in South Hyrule Field, the door that this guy opened up was a heart piece. You know, I have 3 of them. Isn't that great? And I also do another cut here to show back at the Minish Woods that we can also get the heart piece here. And that'll bring our total of hearts up to 5. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video. I'd like to catch you next time in part 5, where we start our way to the second dungeon.